welcome to our next episode of
A Better Shrewsbury.
I'm Sanam Zaer, this is Bridgette Hylton, and welcome to the Hebert's Candy Mansion.
We have been dying to film this episode for a really long time because we're both huge chocolate fans, and we both have such fond memories of coming to the Hebert Candy Mansion as children. So we wanted to give you a quick tour before we meet some of the awesome people that make the Hebert's Candy Mansion the special place that it is.
So this place has a lot of memories for me. I had my birthday party here at least once, I think twice actually, and that was back when you can do the full tour of the actual chocolate vats, and they had the ice cream buffet pre-pandemic, and
It's just awesome.
yeah, it is awesome, yeah.
I think generations of Shrewsbury families have memories of coming here for special holidays, whether it's Easter, like they're prepping for Easter right now, or Valentine's Day. And I think it's just such a treasured part of our community. So I'm really excited that we get to be here today. And I'm also excited because they've got free samples for us. So I think we should go grab some. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
So what do you
What do you
have?
like today?
Oh my gosh.
White chocolate nonpareils, a dark chocolate Geneva with an almond, milk chocolate nonpareils, milk chocolate Geneva with an almond, and dark chocolate nonpareils.
Ooh, this is tough. I'm
This
going
is
with the
tough.
dark chocolate almond.
And I'll go with the dark chocolate with the, what did you call them?
Nonpareils.
The
Non-Perels.
Thank
Okay. I
you.
would have
You
called
wanted
those
to-
just sprinkles. So there's something new.
Yeah, there you go.
So what is the difference between a non-perel and a sprinkle?
I think the shape, and that's also candy. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
Mmm. That is yummy. I
like
love
this
dark
a lot.
chocolate.
This is very good.
Mm-hmm. This is yum.
Bridget and I disagree on a lot of things, but dark chocolate is one thing
Yep.
that we absolutely agree
24
on
hours
every
a day.
time. Yeah, we'll even go full 100% cacao and enjoy it thoroughly. Do you want a piece of this?
No, I'm still
happy
working on
with that?
mine. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Would you like to try a milk one or a white one?
I'm all set actually. I really
This
like
dark
dark
is-
chocolate. Yeah,
This is crushing
I'm a
it.
dark chocolate.
You guys
fans
nailed it.
here. Yeah.
The candy bars are such an iconic part of the Hebert Candy Mansion legacy. There used to be this amazing fundraiser in Shrewsbury and probably surrounding towns where you could raise money by selling the chocolate bars. So I think
Yeah,
every
they
kid
do
in
that.
Shrewsbury has a memory of those
I grew up in
chocolate bars.
Grafton, right down the street, so everything was here. I know it's a Shrewsbury business, but Grafton
Community,
was
Central
definitely-
Mass.
Yeah, Central Mass.
So we got the chocolate bunnies. We have all this.
Wow, they have so many different flavors now. S'mores galore. I wonder if that's one of their
That
most
sounds
popular
amazing.
One, yeah.
I love the peanut butter one.
I would go for the dark chocolate.
Also
personally.
good.
Yeah.
And I love the one with the little Rice Krispies in it. That was
Yeah,
always
that
one of my
is
favorite
really
ones.
good too. Yeah.
So yummy.
Um,
I love that they have nut-free candy options for people who may have allergies or things like that. That's really awesome.
It is. So this is always kind of a funny like gift to give. Sometimes when I want to get someone a gift, and I don't know what to get them, but they like chocolate, a nice way to personalize it is to get them a shape that they like.
Yep.
Like, dog lover might go for a dog one.
I think these are all Easter bunnies now and tulips
Oh,
for
you're right,
spring.
that
Yeah.
is a bunny.
And they even have
My
one
bad.
with the mansion pressed on the front, which is, I've never seen that before.
Ooh,
That's
dark
really cool.
chocolate.
And it's dark chocolate.
Yeah, very nice.
So one of my favorite rooms in the mansion is the ice cream parlor, which is just around this corner. This is probably where you had your birthday party when you were a young woman. And we got to see it from the back end today because we're touring the mansion. So this was the original ice cream parlor with the tulip lights and all the wonderful details. And I was told that this actually used to be the back porch of the original mansion, but we're going to learn more about that from
Oh,
the.
that explains
Yep,
the
that's why we're
stone.
seeing the outside
Okay.
wall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I'm really excited to learn some more about that.
Pre-pandemic, they had the ice cream buffet, which my kids loved, and they still ask for constantly.
It was
Although,
amazing.
In theory, when I think about it now, I'm just like, that is really gross. They just had this all-you-can-eat buffet
Yeah.
with 3-year-olds just going
dip it in.
dipping their
Yep.
fingers in.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting, but
Good memories.
well loved.
Yeah, and
well
strong
loved.
immune
Yeah,
systems.
I always remember that
Right.
too. Yeah.
All right, so why don't we go meet the managers of the facility
Yeah,
so
that
we can
sounds
learn
really
more
good.
about the history, right? Okay, let's go.
So we are sitting here with Paul and Rachel, who will introduce themselves a little bit more, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Hebert's Candy Mansion.
Hi, my name is Paul Smith. I am the Vice President of Operations here at Hebert Candies.
And I am Rachel Ingham, and I am the General Manager here at the retail store.
What an awesome job to have, to like real life Willy Wonka going on here. It's so cool. So, we want to start with the hard hitting question. Is chocolate candy?
For context, Bridget and I have been debating this for the longest time. Before we say our opinions, we'd love to hear your take on this.
So that's kind of the age-old question, isn't it? Kind of the chicken and the egg question. So, my opinion, and I would call it my professional opinion, that I would say that chocolate is in fact candy.
Okay, I like that. I like where you're going with
And
that.
why? Why would you say that?
Well, when I first got asked the question, I think of when I go to the store, do you get a chocolate bar or do you get a candy bar? And you get a candy bar. And then if there was a candy tree, we'll just call it a candy tree, and there were branches on there, you know, gummies, hard candies, I believe that chocolate would be on that candy tree.
Wise
Okay.
words. Wise words. Yeah. Do you have an opinion on it, Rachel?
I differ.
You
Yes,
differ?
I differ.
Okay.
I believe chocolate is its own entity, and
Okay.
it should be classified as such.
Okay. That's separate.
A lot of wisdom coming from this
that
side.
end too. Okay, fair enough. I bet you couldn't guess what opinions we have about this. We've been totally stoic, but I tend to think of chocolate as candy. I think it is made by heating it up, adding sugar to it, sometimes adding other products to it to give it the flavor that we like to digest in bite-sized pieces. So to me, that fits the definition of candy.
So I don't put like candy and chocolate together because I put chocolate with, I would even put chocolate with chocolate cake, hot chocolate bars. So that's why I view it separately because it's kind of its own just
Its own entity.
its own entity, right? So well, although I see how it would be on the tree of candy, I also think it. I mean, it is its own tree. It's a cacao plant, so it does have its own tree as well that doesn't veer into the candy as well. There's certainly a lot of mixing and matching in there, but.
Yep.
But anyway, it's a
Age-old
debate
question.
that Bridget and I have very frequently, very passionately, and yeah, it was interesting to hear we usually start our show with a fun question.
Yeah, so that was the
That was
question.
the
And if you have an opinion on whether chocolate is candy, please let us know in the comments. Is chocolate candy or not?
Yeah, we need a
and why you
tie-
think
It
so?
looks like we need a tiebreaker.
And we need a
'cause we have
tiebreaker.
two and two
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So please let us know what you think.
yeah. So could you guys start telling us a little bit about the history? How long have you guys been working here? Have you been?
And the history of the mansion and,
Yeah.
and sort of how it came to be in Shrewsbury would be great too.
Yeah, so I've been in the food industry my entire life, but I've been with the Candy Mansion. I'm going into my third year now.
Okay.
And I started in September, although I have been in food for many years as well. I came aboard in September, and I love it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it here.
What drew you guys to Hebert's?
The candy.
The candy
Yeah.
and the chocolate.
And in your case, the chocolate
And
as
also
well.
the chocolates. Yeah.
I feel like I'm running like my own Willy Wonka store. Actually, my niece, when she talks to all her friends at school, she tells them that her aunt actually runs a candy store, and she's like a Willy Wonka, and her friends are all so amazed.
It's so cool. It's just such a pleasant place to walk into because the smell of chocolate is so rich in the air, and it's just it just gives you a good feeling. You feel good when you walk into a place like that. Not to mention the beautiful house. Could you tell us a little bit about the house?
Yeah, so the Candy Mansion itself was not always the Candy Mansion. It was built in 1914 by a man named Edmund Hills, and he built it as his summer house, and was quite the mansion back in the day. It was named Hillswald, so it was the Hillswald Mansion before it was the Candy Mansion, and he built it as his summer house, but never lived in it. So he had it until 1942. He sold it to the St. Pierre family, which they worked in shipping, actual ships, boats and ships. And they had it. They did some renovating. They did a little bit of outside renovating, added some of the stone walls. And they only had it for about 4 years. And in 1946, they sold it to Frederick Hebert. And it became famously known as the Hebert Candy Mansion. And although a lot of things have changed over the years, the tradition is still the same, making great handcrafted candies and chocolates.
A beautiful place to do it in.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice when I walked in, it looks exactly the way it looked when I came here as a kid 20, 30 years ago. These lights these are all the same,
Incredible.
right? These have been here for,
Yep, the stained glass. A lot of the things haven't changed.
Yeah.
When the mansion was built, all the wood, finished woodwork was imported Italian pecan. There were over 32 rooms in the mansion. The first floor had a ballroom, which you can still see today. It's part of the sales floor. And every bedroom on the second and third floor had their own bathroom. So it was pretty nice to have a house like
Yeah,
this back in
modern.
the early
Yeah.
1900s, turn of the century.
yeah, for sure. What is the upstairs used for now?
It's offices for the business.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We have our own in-house graphics guy who works on the third floor. And the second floor is all the offices, purchasing, sales, administration.
I was fortunate enough to get a tour of the upstairs, and I was really impressed with the scale of the rooms, but also with the sun porches. There's sun porches like off of so many of the rooms upstairs, which is just such an unexpected thing. And I wish that modern houses had that in every bedroom, like a little sun porch. So this was back when Shrewsbury was sort of a vacation destination. People were using the lake as like a miniature beach, and there was boating, and there was the carnival, and it's really exciting to know that this house has such a real tie to that community that Shrewsbury was and still is. So it's really exciting.
So I think that's why Frederick Hebert picked this location. Route 20, he wanted to be on a major route. Back in the 40s, Route 20 was the main route to get to Boston, between Worcester and Boston. There was no Mass Pike back then.
Yeah.
So he wanted to build a location that everybody could stop in. He started back in 1917, Frederick Hebert. With $11, he started the Hebert Candy Company. He spent that $11 on a copper kettle, his thermometer, and a marble table.
Wow.
And Hebert Candies has been ever since.
That's so cool.
Wow, I think you can barely get a candy bar for $11
Yeah.
these days. So that's
Or a chocolate bar.
or chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She did it.
Oh no.
So one of my favorite memories of this place is the ice cream buffet. So
Yes, my 7-year-old wanted me to ask when and if the ice cream buffet is coming back, and if not, how she can access all of the toppings.
So we have some good news.
Yes.
okay.
We have expanded the ice cream. So back in October, when we closed down the outside ice cream, we worked very hard at opening up the indoor ice cream area, which is year-round now. We have started developing some Sunday of the month, which you can see all of that on our website. We have a lot of cool additions to the menu. We hope everyone comes down to enjoy some ice cream. We are working on bringing back some of the buffet features, maybe letting people do their own toppings. We're working on that, hopefully by spring. And then
A post-pandemic version.
Yeah.
And then in the spring, we are looking at expanding the outdoor window to make it more family friendly. So, we're hoping more people will come and spend their afternoons and come have ice cream. And we're going to put in some tables. And I guess you'll have to wait and see in the spring what it brings.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that'd be great.
Events.
Yeah,
We
because
do
you guys have a
our-
lot of land here. I was able to see from the upstairs window that there's huge amount of land back there.
Quite the campus.
Yeah,
for
quite
sure.
the campus. Yeah.
And we want to be able to capitalize on all of that. We do the car shows on Thursdays during the summer, hosted by, there's a gentleman that runs the car show, but, that's great for us. Rachel, is very ambitious, so we want to bring back a lot of the events that used to be. Old Home Day, bringing, the police here and
Yeah.
the fire department here so you can touch a truck and, a lot of
Yeah, I have been working with the town, and we are going to be having a Shrewsbury, kind of like an Old Home Day. The police department's very excited about bringing the canine dogs and some of the cruisers, and talking to the kids. The fire department's going to bring some trucks, and it's going to be a great event. So that's another thing to be watching for.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you have any upcoming events?
Well, right now we already have the car shows slated to start. I believe the middle of April is going to be their first car show, weather depending, of course. And we are working on bringing back events like birthday parties and things like that. We're working on that now, so that's going to be coming back. But on the calendar right now, the car shows is what's definitely slated to be. We also have, oh, how could I forget? The Easter Bunny is coming. We have the Easter Bunny and Peter Rabbit. They're going to be here for 3 weekends.
The 3 weekends leading up to
Yep.
Easter.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yep. So that's going to be fun. So, do we have anything else? Am I forgetting anything?
A lot of things in the works, but right now it's all Easter.
Yeah.
Easter is one of
Yeah.
our biggest holidays, and that's what we've been preparing for since December 26th.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those events. I remember we don't actually celebrate Christmas, but we came here once accidentally when you guys had the Santa, and there was a line going out the door.
Yeah.
So I know those
That's
are very
awesome.
popular events that a lot
Yeah.
of kids look forward to.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't celebrate Santa, it was very festive in here. We had a great holiday season here at Hebert's, and something for everyone here.
Yeah, I love the idea of just generations of kids getting these special memories right here in town. So it's just so nice to see that those traditions are continuing.
What I love to see when you walk in is the kids. You can see it in their eyes, but the grandparents.
Aw.
You can see it in their eyes too,
Yeah.
because it brings them back from when they were kids and their grandparents brought them here.
Yeah.
They walk in and you smell the chocolate, and it brings you right back to when you were a kid.
It's amazing.
That's what I enjoy seeing.
And not even grandparents. I'm finding myself
Parents.
telling
Yeah,
my
feeling
kids, like,
nostalgic.
oh, I was your age. I used to go down and see the chocolate vats.
The older generations that come in here love to share their stories of what what Hebert's was when they came here. So it's always great to hear. Back when I came here, you had this, and people love to tell stories. So
Yeah.
we hear them all the
Amazing.
time.
Yeah, that's
A
amazing.
lot of heritage.
So-
Speaking of Easter too, I think we're gonna take a
Have a
look at
tutorial.
the.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a look at one of the bunnies in the back you guys have been working on.
Yeah, so this room is named our Geneva room. It's named after our famous Geneva. If you don't know what a Geneva is, it's just a little dollop of chocolate, milk, white or dark chocolate. And you can have it either plain, solid chocolate, or with an almond in it.
Okay.
A fun fact about white chocolate is Frederick Hebert actually pioneered white chocolates into the United States. If you can
Oh,
believe
that's
it.
interesting.
Back in the 50s.
Right here, yeah.
Back in the 50s, he went over to England, tasted some white confections, and says, I need to duplicate this. And he came back and, in my opinion, made the best white chocolate recipe there is.
Yeah.
And that recipe is still the same recipe we use today.
So without telling us the recipe, can you explain what white chocolate is? Because a lot of people I don't think know what white chocolate actually is.
No.
No. Okay. You don't have to give us the recipe. You don't have to give us the recipe, but it's
It
not.
just appears.
It's
It appears.
it's made with the butter, right? But not
The butter fat.
Yeah, but not the pod or
Correct.
something like
Yeah.
that, right?
And it's they use either palm kernel oil or sunflower oil, which actually it makes it really tough because a lot of that right now comes from Ukraine and Russia. So getting the ingredients to
Yeah.
make white chocolate isn't as easy as it used to be, but we still get it.
Oh, that's interesting.
interesting.
And you don't use that in the dark and milk chocolate?
We do, but not as the volumes aren't as high.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so I think let's go see. I'd love to also check out some of this cool equipment that you have here. It looks like this is some original Candy Mansion stuff over here. Is that right?
Yes, so we have some of the older registers, older scales, and actually some of the old thermometers that Frederick Hebert himself actually used,
Wow.
which is pretty cool.
Very, very cool. All right, so I think we're going to get suited up and go check out the candy making, right?
Head into the
Okay.
All
Geneva room.
right, awesome. So we're here in the Geneva room at the Hebert's Candy Mansion, and this is where a lot of the magic happens in the chocolate part of the factory, right?
Welcome to the Geneva room. Today we're working on Easter bunnies for our favorite holiday, Easter. As you can see, we have one very large Easter bunny here that's ready. He weighs approximately 24 pounds.
Wow.
It's approximate because they're all made by hand. When we say handcrafted chocolates and candies, we truly mean handcrafted chocolates and candies. So this one is hollow. You can see there's a white chocolate basket and a milk chocolate body. So in order to achieve that, we actually have to hand paint the white chocolate, as you can see Margie's doing here, on a smaller scale bunny.
It's very delicate work, it looks like.
Yes, and once she's finished with that, the chocolate will go into the cold room to set, and then we will pour the milk chocolate in there, and it's actually turned by hand so the milk chocolate gets into all the crevices, the nooks and the crannies, and the bunny tail to make the hollow bunny. and then it's cooled. So a bunny like this can take 2 chocolatiers 8 hours to make.
Wow.
So
And it's worth it.
Truly is handcrafted.
It's worth it.
Yes.
And you have some candy mixed
Yeah.
with the chocolate.
Some
So that's
additional
also-
candy.
Right.
Additional candy.
They come in a few different sizes.
Oh, great. And these are all for sale at the mansion, right?
These will be for sale at the
Yeah.
mansion.
What about this big guy?
Oh, yes.
This big guy will be for sale.
Wow, that's cool. That is cool.
How much does something like this go for?
Roughly $300 for a large piece like
I
that.
mean,
Wow.
it takes a long time for this, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chocolate. And chocolate in this size can become very expensive.
I always wondered how to eat stuff like this because, you know, you see it and it's so beautiful, but then do you just like chisel off the thigh?
No, you start with the ears.
I start with the ears.
You gotta start with the ears.
Then where do you go from the ears?
All the way down.
All the way down?
Yeah, top to bottom.
You just start snapping off pieces and eat them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to go like this.
You go straight for the candy.
No, I actually don't like jelly beans, believe it or not.
Pick first,
Yeah.
the candy or the chocolate.
Chocolate all the way for me. Yeah. This is such a beautiful space. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. We're really excited.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
remember when I was a kid for birthday parties, we used to actually go and see the chocolate spinning in the vats.
Yeah.
Is that still happening downstairs?
It still happens, but with food safety regulations, we can't have different groups of people.
Yeah,
Back
stomping through. I know. Good times in the 80s.
Safety regulations
Yeah.
for the better.
Have tightened up, yeah.
No, that makes sense. In hindsight, I'm like, why was a bunch of 9-year-olds just running around?
And a chocolate factory. Well, again, that goes back to Willy Wonka when they fall in the chocolate river. And I remember as a kid being like, oh my God, I could fall into a river of chocolate. And I mean, now I'm like,
But you can come here during the week and you can look through the windows and see the chocolatiers doing their magic.
Yep.
They're here every day creating and doing what they love.
it's amazing.
Not as exciting as downstairs, but we do have some liquid chocolate moving around.
So what is that for? Is that for the molds? They scoop it into the molds?
Chocolate has to be tempered in order for it to stay hard and get that nice snap. So this is where they melt the chocolate. You can't just melt the chocolate and simply cool the chocolate.
Okay.
The chocolate needs to be tempered. So it needs to be melted really hot, brought down really hot as in 110, 120 degrees, depending on the type of chocolate. White chocolate, dark chocolate, and milk chocolate all tempered a little bit different. Around 110 degrees, bring it down to about 90 degrees, and then you want to very quickly bring it back up to about 93, 95 degrees to get those crystals to form,
Okay.
and then you cool it, and that's when you get that nice tempered chocolate that has that really
The
nice
snap.
snap to it.
Oh,
And that's why the bunny stays standing and doesn't fall.
okay.
Untempered chocolate is almost like
It's weak.
pudding.
Yeah, okay.
And is candy made exactly the same way?
Candy's made a little bit different.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Different kinds of candy are made differently though. So like Skittles would be made one way and jelly beans another.
Come full circle.
Gummies, hard chocolates,
They're all different.
hard candies, all of the candies are made a little bit.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying. So my dream for my future is to be able to stick a scoop in that and just,
Just eat it.
Yeah.
We also have one of the vats spinning over here.
oh, very cool. Look at that.
So this is a dark chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
That's the pool
That's-
that Bridgette
That's
and
the
I
pool that I've dreamed
would
of.
like to be in.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've dreamed of this
Yeah.
for a long time. Wow, that is amazing.
This is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, that's very cool.
This machine, other than a friendly robot, actually helps us make some of those hollows. During Halloween, we do the hollow pumpkins. So it goes a little bit faster. It's still handcrafted. We still hand paint. But instead of one person spinning a single pumpkin at a time,
Yeah.
you can put it onto this machine,
Oh,
and it can spin multiple.
multiple.
at a
Oh,
time.
that's a cool
That way
robot.
they can spin that and work on other things to be a little bit more
Yeah.
productive.
Oh my God, the chocolate smell over here is distracting. It's stronger
It's the-
over here.
It's the cacao from
Is that also a chocolate bar?
That is our milk chocolate because it is the most widely used. That is our milk
That's
chocolate.
I prefer to eat the dark chocolate, but swim
swim in
in the
that
milk
one.
chocolate. Yeah, it's good for your skin. You know, it's good for your skin.
Behind you is
Yeah.
white chocolate in that.
And the little one.
No white chocolate.
Oh, okay,
White
very
chocolate
cool.
has become more and more popular over the years. It almost rivals our milk chocolate, especially during Easter. The white chocolate bunnies do very, very well.
Well, thank you to Mr. Hebert for bringing it over here, right?
Yes.
So I notice all the chocolatiers are working on these marble top tables. Is that to keep the chocolate at a certain temperature? Is that?
So the
I know
marbles
pastry, it's like that.
Help
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Cool the chocolates. Not so much for the
Oh,
molded things that you see here.
Yeah.
But if they're going to make, say, chocolate bark,
Yeah.
they're going to mix the ingredients. So if it's an almond bark, they'll mix in the almonds.
Okay.
And then they'll pour it onto the table. Remember how I said the chocolate has to cool
Yep.
real fast? Well, the marble tables help cool it.
Okay, so they'll lay it out flat and it'll cool.
Yep.
So
If you
we
notice,
just-
this room is actually a little bit cool. It's temperature controlled, but also the humidity is controlled.
Okay.
The chocolate doesn't really like high humidity.
Okay. Oh, that's so interesting because cacao comes from very humid places. So in order to turn it into candy, it's almost like you have to give it the right conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if tempered chocolate gets too warm, there's actually a stage right before it melts where it'll start to detemper. And I don't know if you've ever had a candy bar that is sat in the sun. You open it up and it has that white film on there.
Yeah.
It's not mold. It doesn't mean that it went bad. It's still good for you. But it actually detempered, and some of that cocoa butter and fat started to
separated.
separate and come to the top, and that's why it gets that white film on there. So you can still eat it. It'll still taste good, but you're not going to get that nice snap.
Crisp. I usually use that for cooking stuff. Like if that happens to mine, I'm like, let me cook something with this instead of eating it because you can taste the cocoa butter a little bit. It changes the taste of the
There's
chocolate.
actually a term for that. We call it blooming.
Blooming. Okay.
Chocolate blooms.
Okay.
So sometimes people will call and say, our chocolate doesn't look right. And
Oh,
we say,
it bloomed.
it blooms.
Oh, I love that.
Did it get too warm? Oh, yeah, well, I left it in the car.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
I think to wrap things up, we can talk about a potential chapter 2 where you guys consider opening an Airbnb with a
Chocolate jacuzzi.
Chocolate
come
Yeah.
and stay, and we'd love
We
to be
would
the
stay
first
there.
guests.
We volunteer as tribute. Yes,
That
we
would be
will
great.
be here.
And in the summer, we'd love to have you guys back for one of our events for sure.
We would love to
Yeah,
come
that'd
back.
be
Thank you so
amazing.
much. Yeah, we'd
Thank you
love
for the
to.
tour, for the history, for showing us this back room. It really brings
Yeah.
back a lot of memories, and I learned a few things too. You haven't changed my mind about chocolate being candy, but
Yep.
it was nice learning a little bit more.
So if people want to visit the mansion, what are your hours? Do you have social media, website? How do they learn more to be able to come see you?
Yeah, so follow us on HebertCandies.com.
Okay.
Our hours change depending on the seasonality, but usually we're open Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay.
During the busier times, right before Easter or right before the Christmas holiday season, we open on Mondays as well. And we also have a Facebook page, so at Hebert Candies,
Okay.
and an Instagram page where we keep all of our events, specials, and all the other cool things that we're going on, sales.
Awesome.
Be sure to follow us.
And then you said the Easter Bunny and Peter Rabbit are here the 3 weekends leading up to
The
Easter.
3 weekends leading up to Easter,
Awesome.
and the times will be on our website.
Awesome. Thank you so. This has been like the most fun.
Yeah, it's
Thank
been
you.
really good.
We may just come back to hang out.
Yeah.
Like it's
be
just
here.
great.
I'm gonna head back for more dark chocolate.
Yeah, more dark
samples.
chocolate and the ice cream bar. So thank you so
Ice cream
much.
bar is open.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming down the road, so.
looking forward to it very much.
Thank you both, and thank you everyone for watching.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.